Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 26. It is Saturday evening, and I'm just leaving home, heading to a casino, have a little special project I'm going to be working on, as well as playing some slots. This one is better than the other casino that I do the special project at, because they have some okay slots here versus the other one that has more people checking slots than there are good slots to check. So Saturday, early evening. Today was incredibly cold this morning. Woke up to minus 11 degrees air temperature, not including wind. And right now it's warmed up nicely to a nice warm 17 degrees outside. And yesterday, disgusting day. That's the best way I could put it. Just disgusting. Was down close to 20K at one point. Ended up coming back and leaving down around 7,000 by the end of the day. I don't even add it all up. I just recorded it as I went along, and I'm sure it was probably a little bit confusing at points because I went a long time without recording, then came back and recorded and was recalling other things that had happened, and it was just a lot of back and forth. And honestly, I think my last big loss was to this same dealer as well, which was interesting. That was the $7,400 loss back in December. But we got our loss out of the way. Let's go another month or two without a loss, please. Another big loss anyway. Silver yesterday crashed. However, around the world, silver prices remain the same. So what does that tell you? That tells you maybe it didn't crash. Maybe JP Morgan had till the end of the month to get their stuff paid for and they manipulated the market. I don't know. I'm not saying they did. Don't sue me. But all I know is leading up to the end of the month, we were saying how they had all this stuff to cover and they didn't have the money to do it. Then all of a sudden they got a 40% discount on the price. I don't know. So anyway, lost over 50K, I think, on Friday on my options. So that was pretty bad as well. So, it's only going to be up from here. So we are heading out, like I said, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, so I forgot. I did make a couple $100 on my way home yesterday online also. And then today, I'm on a tear online. I'm up over $1,000, so that's nice as well. Hopefully that keeps up. I've just been playing in short spurts, half an hour, take a break. I'm just sitting at home anyway. I got a lot of stuff done for work as well, but I didn't have that much to do, so I did that. We got everything torn out of the kitchen now. There were just a few pieces of the old floor that was under the cabinets still there, and I went through today and ripped those out and got the floor nice and clean and swept it up, and everything looks good. And we do have a few pieces of the new floor that we put in that we have available, so we'll put that in. I feel like we have exactly enough to finish what was covered up by the old cabinets, so it should look really nice. And then of course Tuesday they get installed, so I have to call Monday and get a payment in for that, and then Tuesday they'll be installed. So all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and did not go well. It was very, 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 very crowded in there, and they were giving stuff away, money, and I haven't seen it that busy in a very long time. Ended up just playing a few things, and actually I played three machines, and they're the only three of these machines in the place, and ended up losing on two of them, I think, and winning on one, and ended the session down $129. And I did do my other play, which is good, and then also played online as I was driving here, because it's a bit of a drive home. And for the day online right now, I'm ahead $1,986. So this is pretty crazy. What a run I'm having on that. So Up and down. Overall, it's depressing to have it be like that because, you want to be good at one thing and do it and be solid and know what you're doing instead of kind of good at a bunch of stuff, which is what I feel like I'm doing right now. I'm having bad variance on blackjack. I'm having bad variance on slots, doing okay online. Stock market's up and down. It's just a lot of emotions right now and kind of painful right now. But we are doing okay, and we'll get past all this stuff. We'll get through all this stuff, and looking forward to my trip to Vegas, and we'll see how it goes. So right now we're heading home. My wife wants to go to dinner. It's about 8 p.m. right now. I'm going to pick her up, and we're going to go to dinner, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow, which is Sunday. All right, guys, good afternoon. It is Sunday afternoon, and just leaving home. Left home actually a little bit ago. Hopefully my map is muted. Yeah, it is. So today we woke up. We actually couldn't get to church today, but hung around the house. Went over to my mom's house, had lunch with her, and then there was a baseball card show that I wanted to take one of my boys, one of my girls. The boy collects Pokemon cards, and my daughter was looking through Mike's old baseball cards, the worthless 1990s cards and stuff. So she wanted to sell some of those, and we would give half the money to Mike and keep half the money. And so, and he doesn't expect any of it. He already told me just keep it all, but I'm keeping it separate for him. So we go to the place where the card show is. We pull in, got to pay for parking, pull up to the building, and there's like 5 cars there. Well, I made 2 mistakes. Number one, I didn't realize that today's February 1st, not January 31st, which means I didn't get my stuff in for BJ21. Number two, the show ended January 31st. It was only a one-day show, and I knew it was only January 31st, but I thought that was today. So we got all the way there, and there was nothing there. So I got on my phone, immediately found another show, looked very promising. It turns out most of the people that were at the show yesterday moved to this show today. So I felt a lot better about that. Well, this show was actually at a high school, and we got there, and it was like 99.5% Pokemon cards, and I'm like, that's kind of odd. There's no sports here. My daughter wasn't feeling too good about that. We started walking around and talked to a couple people. My son was showing him the stuff that he wanted to sell and things like that. And he was smart. I mean, he understands what the value of them is, how to negotiate with them. And let me just say, before this, in the car, I kind of explained a little bit more about how to get the best value when you're negotiating. For him, using the method of, this is worth this much, would you throw this in as well, and things like that. And for her, she is getting ready to go on a trip with her class, which I'm paying for. But I told her, just explain that you're going on this trip and you need the money for the trip, which is true. But even though I'm going to end up paying for it, she doesn't know that. But so I thought, that might help her in getting some better value. People say, hey, she's using this for a good cause. I don't mind giving her a little more, whatever, But expectation going in there was she was only going to get about $20 for all this stuff because it was all stuff that wasn't very valuable. So we start walking around. We look at a couple vendors. My son talks to them. He decides not to sell them anything. He moves on to another one. I said, let me talk to your sister. Let me see if I can help her a little bit while you're doing your thing. So I left him and walked a couple tables over with her, and this guy's like, yeah, I don't know that much about sports stuff and all this. He's like, what did they tell you at the sports booths? And we're like, huh? Sports booth? It turns out there was another gymnasium that had all sports cards. So I took her over there, and she started talking to people there. I went back to my son and helped him out, and then back to her, and she had found someone who was going to buy some of them, but she wasn't sure if the price was good. And we went and talked to him together, and she made some sales. My son made some sales, and everything ended up pretty well, actually. She ended up making $125. My son ended up getting 4 cards that he's been looking for, and making $200 in cash on top of that, plus a really rare type of card. That's actually 2 different cards that were graded together in one slab, and it was actually a Chinese grading company that did it. It was actually pretty cool. It's not super valuable, but he bought that as well. So we had a good time, but we spent a lot of time in there. So wasted a lot of the time that I would have been traveling. Not wasted, I was with the family, but spent a lot of the time that I would have been traveling in there instead. And by the time we left, it was already late afternoon, and we headed home, dropped them off, and I took off for the day. I have to make a couple stops on my way to my ultimate destination for the day, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it was very interesting. And in the middle of his negotiation, he realized that he wasn't doing everything he was told to do, and he renegotiated a deal and actually did pretty well. There was one deal where he was getting paid like a certain amount of money, and he tried to get a better deal, and the guy really wasn't doing it. And I said, hey, instead of doing that, why don't we do the same deal that the guy wants, but he gives you this pack of cards as well, which he had for sale for $10. And they said okay, and my son got that, and he opened it up and got a nice full art holo, which is a nice card. So he was really happy about that. He was offered money for some cards that he didn't want to sell because he really loves those cards. And this dealer said those were the only 4 cards that he needed. There's actually 4 Pikachu cards that, if you put them together, make one big card. And the dealer said that was the last 4 that he needed to finish his set, but my son wouldn't sell it. So we had a good time. All in all, it's good to get them involved, and he and her probably normally wouldn't hang out together, so it was actually pretty cool. And they made a little bit of a connection there as well. And now for the next show, they both want to go again, and she has more cards that she wants to sell, and he wants to look at his stuff and decide how he wants to handle it next time. So what cards he's looking for, which ones he wants to sell, and other things like that. So that's all good. Last night ended up doing a 3D print for myself. Actually, my kids have printed dozens of things on the 3D printer, but I printed this cool thing. It's obviously plastic. It goes over the steering wheel, in front of the steering wheel, and it hangs over the back to keep itself in place. And it's basically like a flat surface with a little base on the bottom, and you can put your phone on there and have your phone right in front of you without having to hold your phone. So it's kind of cool. I can charge it while it's in front of me. I don't need to have it 3 feet away from me, 2 feet away from me. It's right there in front of me, and I can look at it when I need to without having to pick it up. So that's cool. On the way back from the card show, we stopped at a casino, cashed some vouchers I needed to cash, and right now I'm moving on to another casino. It's going to be, this adds 2 hours to my trip, but I have some plays I need to make there, so we'll do that, and then we'll head on to our ultimate destination. So that's what's happening right now. And actually, it's pretty warm outside. It's I mean, compared to last week where it was minus 15 last week, right now it's 24 degrees without the wind chill, so much better. And silver will be opening up here shortly, so we'll see how that does on the market with the recovery. See if there's a recovery or not. Hopefully it continues its upswing, but looks like the government raised or the board raised margin requirements 2 more times in the last 3 days. So there's going to be ultimately a little bit of selling pressure when it comes out, And if you survive that, hopefully things should be good after that. But I have a feeling there's going to be a little bit more selling pressure before it goes up. But we'll see what happens. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys. The market is about to open. The silver market opens in about 1 minute. So I'm going to either be very heartbroken or I'm going to have a little smile on my face in about 30 seconds here. So I thought maybe I'd turn on the podcast here and we can share this time together. Yeah, it should be definitely less than a minute left, and we'll see what happens. It closed at $85.15. I'd like to see it about 92 on the open, but I know with them raising margin requirements twice in the last 3 days that it may start a little down. I'd like to see it hold over 80 no matter what, but here we go. Any second now. Hasn't opened quite yet. There you go. Just opened. And ticker has not moved yet. So we're at 85.15. And just waiting for it to move. I don't know if it takes a full minute to see the first tick or not. I don't think so. Today is Sunday, right? Yeah. I mean, it should be open. Refresh the screen here. It is supposed to be a streaming page, but 85.15 still. Well, it hasn't moved yet. I will let you know if it does. I did make my first stop, and I had certain business I needed to take care of there. I wasn't necessarily going to be there to gamble. I did make one small, tiny play, and ended up ahead slightly, $35, so plus $35, and there's no holiday, right? It's February 1st, and it's a Sunday night, and the market has not opened, or there's a delay. I wonder if there's some kind of a delay due to these new margin requirements. Interesting. I really thought this was going to be cool, that I was going to be watching it unfold, but well, I will let you know when it opens. Okay, it just refreshed itself for some reason and still hasn't moved, so I will let you know what happens. So I'll come back. Alright guys, I am back. So I saw that it did finally open about 3 or 4 minutes later than I expected it to. It opened at 81. Immediately went down to 78, and now it's back to about 80. So we'll see how it settles out. No matter what happens here, even if it goes up, we need to watch for when the market opens, because that's when some people will be able to sell things that they can't sell in after hours trading, and we'll see what happens there. From there, we should have an idea if it's stabilized from here or if we have more trouble coming. So anyway, yeah, I had multiple people tell me that they used the information I talked about here, and they did their own research and made some money and cashed out before it dropped. So I'm happy for them, and hopefully it gets back up a little bit, and I can get some relief and pull some of it out as well, but definitely still going to be in it for the long term. So anyway, right now 3 hours away from my next stop, continuing to drive, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, and as we are getting closer to our next stop, it's been about 3 hours since I talked to you, and definitely a long drive, definitely getting tired, but finally getting close to our stop here, and going to be meeting with some friends in here, hopefully find some decent plays, and see how it goes. Yeah, I don't have any kind of expectation of winning or losing. I'm just going to take it slow, take it easy, and chip away at it, and work our way back, and work our way up again, and we should be fine. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I was in there for a few hours. I actually walked over 4,000 steps in there, looking for plays, trying to find something. looking for tables, and I saw a lot of advanced players in there. In fact, when I first got in there, I called my friend who was already there and talked to him for a minute, and he introduced me to a guy that I've been seeing around for years, but I've never talked to him before. It turns out that he used to actually work for the casino, and he quit and started doing this instead. So, which is interesting because he's doing it at the same casino that he used to work at. And so I talked to him and looked for stuff, and my friend took off for the day. Guess he'd been around for a while today, and just wasn't finding much. I ended up finding a couple small plays and playing those, and I was on my way out. I was up 95, and found another play on my way out and played that one through and ended up ahead another 74. So that's what, 169 on the slots. Could not find a table to play to save my life. High limit, low limit, front area, back area, everything was completely loaded up. Actually, one positive out of all that is there were about 3 or 4 6 to 5 tables that were completely empty, and the regular table next to it was jam packed. So hopefully that sends a message. I doubt it. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. They're going to leave it that way when it's busy, and people will still play those tables. But overall, not the best experience. Didn't make a lot of money, especially since I was down so much last time. I wanted to kind of make a little bit of a comeback, but I haven't had a chance to do that. So we're going to move on to another place. It's almost midnight right now, so we're going to move on to another place that's not too far away. Hopefully we find something there and make some kind of decent money, and then we'll have to figure out what to do from there. So it's already so late because I started off late, and then I ended up hitting a couple casinos, already. So we'll see. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and not much going on in there either. It's there's a lot going on in there, but not much opportunity in there. Went in, looked around, found a couple plays, played those, looked for blackjack, couldn't find any blackjack tables that were open and had good rules. So that was actually a pretty short visit, about 40 minutes or so, and there was just no opportunity in there. I did end up making some money, but overall, kind of aggravating to drive this far and then not be able to play any table games. I ended up leaving ahead 179, so it's at 179, 279. It's about almost $400 today. That's it. I mean, come on. That's less than $1 a mile. I mean, that's pretty bad. But I mean, there's another place I could go to. I'm kind of tired. If I go straight home right now, I'll have a couple hours sleep. There is one casino on the way we might be able to hit, so we're going to focus on maybe doing that. We'll see how it goes, and we'll figure things out from there. But right now, plus 179, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, 3 o'clock. At a rest area right now, getting really, really tired. Pulled over and tried to sleep for a few minutes. Pulled over for about 10 minutes. And we're going to continue on. Just got to get to my bed and wake up at home so I can go to work. We can do some segments. What did you eat today, MW? Had some roast, and it was really good. I really didn't have anything else with it. No salad, no nothing else. Really didn't feel like anything else. And I give it a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? Today didn't play any table games, so I actually did not tip anything. And what did you learn today, MW? Sunday is definitely the hardest day. Snow and ice doesn't make it any better. Adding 1 or 2 more casinos before the main prize doesn't make things better either. Just have to watch out for safety and all that. But anyway, another hour plus on the way home here, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.